Welcome to another period, another time of knowledge acquisition. Today, I shall be speaking on food and diseases. Diseases in the sense that I am widening the scope. Ordinarily, we want to talk about infection. But when you now talk about food and diseases, and probably not nutrition and infection, which is what I wanted to treat earlier, but I found it very small in magnitude that it is better to widen the scope so that we can have a rich knowledge acquired. Diseases and food, you are more or less expanding it to that you eat food but still you do not live. The experience of Vasco da Gama and his sailors, so many sailors died, including his brother, because they ate but there was deficiency in vitamin C, resulting in scurvy. The scurvy killed the majority of them. But that experience has now been unraveled, and today we take it for granted. We just take it, we take vegetables and fruits, and no problem anymore. But there are so many other problems that are called metabolic syndrome problems, and we come down with two different, the hypertension and all the other stuff. So I want to now take everything, including infection that one could get from not eating well, that is clean food, well processed food, and stuffs like that. I shall go into the slide section where the explanation will be broader and clearer. If you like what you're listening to, click the like button, subscribe, and don't forget, like I said, don't ever forget to hook up every Thursday, because when you have subscribed, it will be on for you. Thank you. Food and diseases laboratory investigation. The outline. Introduction. Constituent of food and uses. Type of diseases. Lab investigation positive correlation. Lab investigation negative correlation. Conclusion. References. Introduction. Food is anything eaten to satisfy appetite and to meet physiological needs for growth, to maintain all body processes, and to supply energy to maintain body temperature and activity. Basically, we eat food so that we may not die. But those who are looking, they live to eat. They rather live to eat. Diseases is any harmful change that really affects with the normal appearance, structure, or function of the body or any of its parts. WHO defines disease as any particular abnormal condition that negatively affects the structure or function of all or part of an organism, and that is not immediately due to any external injury, often associated with specific signs and symptoms. Any harmful deviation from normal structural or functional state of an organism generally associated with certain signs and symptoms and in nature from physical injury. Constituent of food and use. Constituent of food are carbohydrate, protein, fat. These three substances are the energy-yielding nutrients found in food. Other constituents that are required are water, vitamins necessary for enzyme production, minerals, and fibers. Carbohydrates provide fuel or energy for all the body processes. In fact, certain tissues in the body, such as the brain and nervous system, derive energy only from glucose. Protein primary job is making and maintaining muscles and other body tissue. It is regarded as the building block. Fat is for enclosing cells and also involved in production. And energy. Good food sources of vitamins, minerals, fibers, and other chemicals are fruits, vegetables, grains, bread, cereal, and dairy food, all carbohydrate sources. Dietary guidelines. From this picture, we can see that you need as much as this for carbohydrate. The carbohydrate should be higher. It's the main energy source, preferable by the brain and the nervous system. Then you need more of the vegetables because this supplies the vitamins. It's also an energy source. It's also carbohydrate, just as I defined. And this is where the protein is the next, and you need sparingly, eat sparingly, fats and sweets. That is the dietary guidelines. The reason for the dietary guidelines: malnutrition is the primary cause of immunodeficiency worldwide. So we must take care of not malnourishing. An inadequate diet intake leads to weight loss, lower immunity, mucosal damage, invasion by pathogens, and impaired growth and development, especially in children. An excess dietary intake is similar to any industrial factory that has no period for maintenance when the machinery is at rest. The machines will not perform efficiently. Likewise, the body will not be able to detoxify, no apoptosis, no blockage of lymphatic systems, and likewise, all chronic diseases develop, especially MERS syndrome, metabolic syndrome. Type of diseases. We have 4 types of diseases: infectious disease, deficiency disease, hereditary disease, including both genetic and non-genetic hereditary diseases, and physiological diseases. It can also be classified in other ways as communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Positive correlation. The positive correlation between lab investigation and when you don't eat well, that is, with food. You find that when you are malnourished, these values, you are expecting that if you eat more, then you are having higher results. So where that happens is usually in these areas. When you eat too much food, it's more of metabolic problems. That's why they call it metabolic syndrome. Because you are overeating, you now find a situation of high hypertension, high cholesterol level, obesity, diabetes, atherosclerosis, lipidemia, metabolic syndrome, where all values are on the high side. When serum samples are tested, increasing the risk factor for stroke and cardiovascular disease. Laboratory investigations. Laboratory investigation, negative correlation with laboratory values. You find the negative one just when you take the blood cells, the white blood count, especially neutrophil, is high for bacterial infection. The eosinophil is also high for worm infestation. High parasitemia, high viral load count, high colony forming units in urine, high ELISA positive grading, plasma viscosity high, high CR protein, high electrolyte sedimentation, high procalcitonin. All these are just showing that because the person is not feeding well, is now prone to having all these high value, derangements that you ordinarily would not find in people who eat very well. Laboratory investigation. Laboratory investigation, negative correlation with communicable diseases. According to laboratory findings, virtually all communicable diseases like tuberculosis, HIV, salmonellosis, worm, malaria, typhoid, poliomyelitis, and others have a high mortality or morbidity in developing countries where the standard of living is low. Also, undernourished children have less nutritional reserve to grow properly and to fight off these diseases. The nutrition has been called the most common cause of immunodeficiency worldwide. With poor nutrition, some part of a child's immune system do not function properly. Conclusion. Approximately 826 million people in the world are undernourished. 792 million people in the developing world and 334 million in the developed world.
John Mason and colleagues claim that 32% of the global disease burden could be removed by eliminating malnutrition, whereas others have concluded that even this figure is a gross understatement. Poor nourishment leaves children underweight, weakened, and vulnerable to fatal and non-fatal infections. It is estimated that feeding all children worldwide an adequate diet will prevent approximately 1 million deaths per year caused by pneumonia, 800,000 caused by disease, 500 caused by malaria, 250,000 caused by measles. These conditions are preventable, providing that the insight, coordination, political will, and funding are available. Conclusion continues. From all that has been exposed above, it is safe to agree with other researchers that food is a very important factor in communicable diseases because malnutrition, malnourished people, especially children, have many infectious diseases. The non-communicable diseases, many of which are communicable diseases, are very common in developed world, to the extent that obesity epidemic has been declared in such countries. Some deficiencies too have that are non-communicable diseases have been found in both malnourished and rich people, making necessary